Alright everybody, and we got ourselves another video, and it's a bit different because we're going to be doing a discussion, and it's only because of the fact of slot 3 being guaranteed for every unique equipment now, which is obviously great. But the only reason why I want to talk about that today is because of the old equipment, the stuff we had beforehand. How badly was it beforehand? And I'm going to tell you this here right now. For me, it was okay, but it was generally fucking horrendous. It was just horrendous. Now, I have from like every time that there has been a new unique equipment come out, I have always recorded it. Although I used to upload it, but then I didn't. But I have kept track of everything except for one equipment, which we'll get into later. But yeah, now there's a first one here where I have written down that. We had three equipments to grind up. More than likely, my best guess was the Ginyu Force equipment, because they all technically got unique equipments. And what I spent on that was a lot of nothing energy, really. And more or less, I would say, 800 energy. 800 energy, I got to get all three of them. For slots, it wasn't exactly great, because I had 349 at the beginning, minus down to 183 for the third slot for the first one, 183 to 65 for the second one, and then I got a few extras, meaning I went up to 142, I got that down to 63 for the third one. That's the third slot. Now, if we take all that into consideration, that is going to be this number here for the three equipments. Now, obviously, I have done for the second slot as well, but being realistic, no one gives two single fucks about the second slot. This is all about the third slot. Now, on to our next one. I haven't an idea. Obviously, I will go find this and I will put up a screenshot of what these are in their release order. But again, off of speculation, the first one was Ginyu Force, but the second one, I'm not too sure. That's started out with me having 7,399, and I got down to 6,909. Which means that took about 490. 490 energy to get the equipment. Okay, not too bad. Slots. I don't even want to say the number because it's massive. I went from 461 to 78. That is nearly a 400 difference. And if I had to put that to an actual number, that is roughly 300 and 380. No, 383. If I had to put an exact number to it, 383. But obviously the actual number will be put on screen, obviously. Which is extreme, but not as bad as some of the other things I had. Now, we go on to the next one. I started off with 9,852, and I went down to 8,672. A difference of 1,180. 1,180. Could have used that energy to get Zenny, but I didn't because I had to get a unique equipment. And for the third slot, actually was fairly good. It was very, very good, actually. From 999 to 727. Now, the difference of that is obviously 272. Not bad. I would say not bad. Compared to the other time, it was egregious. The first time, not too sure. But the second time, God, that was rough. Now, the next one. I was so lucky that I feel like as if I say this here, I will get so much shit for it. It's not going to be funny. Why do I say this? Because the energy I had at the beginning was 9,999, and I went down to 9,939. I don't need to tell you the maths to say that's 60. And then the slots, I had 879. I'm going to give you 5 seconds because you're more than likely going to be wrong. But I want to give you 5 seconds to see how long it took me to get a red slot and the third equipment. I don't know if that was 5 seconds, but you are incorrect. I started with 879 and I went down to 872. It took me 7. Again, 7 slots. 7 is egregious. That is stupid. But god, I love it. Oh my god. But yeah, no, the next one ended up being, starting off with 10,000 energy. I know, no, sorry, wait, no, that's a different thing. Next one, 9,827, went down to 9,457. Okay, not bad. That is roughly a 370 difference. That's not bad, that's not great either, but it's not bad. Then I started off with 799, and I got down to 710 for the third slot. That is a difference of 89. Not bad. Again, not bad. It's not, again, not the greatest, but not bad. Definitely well above average. For our next one is where we start with the 10,000 energy. And I got down to 9680, which is a difference of 320. 320 for the energy, not too bad. The slots now, 999, all the way down to 896, a difference of 103. Again, I wouldn't, in all honesty, with the way people have been going at it, it's still above average. It is still above average, which is insane. Now, my next one is 9,999, then went down to 9,019. Again, not too bad. I would say it's not too bad. A difference of 980. Not bad. Now, the slots, actually very good, because I started off with 999 and I went down to 928, a difference of 71. Again, very good. I would say it's still, again, very above average. Now, this next one, I had gotten 2 equipments. Now, I could probably think off the top of my head what it is, but the name of it, I'm not too sure. But from here, for my first equipment, right, I started with 9,252, and I went down to 9,072. Okay, not too bad, about a difference of 180, still, not bad. Then the second equipment went down to 8,743 from the 9,072, which is still an okay amount, but not great. Now for the first equipment, for slot 3, I had 509, I went down to 497. That's a difference of 12, which is stupid. Then for my second equipment, I had 458, and then I went down to 433, a difference of 25. Obviously not as great as the first one, but still significantly above average. Now, I've got 2 left, which then ends up being 9,999 for the energy, down to 9,149 for the energy, a difference of 850. Okay, not bad. Now the slots, I'm going to, again, give you 5 seconds to figure out how many slots it took me to get slot 3. I'll give you 5 seconds, starting from now. And no, you were incorrect. That is not correct. 700 was not correct. The answer was actually 8. 999 to 991 for slot 3 is insanity. And then for my last one, I have no idea what it was. I've written down here, I have no fucking idea what the fuck it is for. But if I had to guess, it was probably Super Saiyan 4. If I had to take a wild guess, because it's nothing to do in regards to any slot 1s or 2s. It's just first try, second try. So again, if I had to guess, it was more than likely for Super Saiyan 4 Goku's equipment, which does not need to be worried about. Now, if I went to go back and calculate all the slots it took me to get the third slot on each of these, unwritten, it would actually be so much, I mean so much less.
And after spending 2k slot removers just to get the third slot on Go Frieza's Equip to Red.
And the third slot. The second slot. The second slot was so bad. But it does make sense to why that would be the case in some form. Only because the fact that there's a massive disparity between the stats. Because I think for one equipment, the highest you can get is about 150. And the lowest you can get is about 80. A difference of 70%, which is quite a bit. So again, it makes sense. But totaling all of these I don't know, published equipment it took me to get slot 34, it actually comes out to this number here. Now for everyone else it's going to be very different, but this is my number, the number I got to get slot 3 on all of these equipments. Equipment 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 equipments. And this is the amount it took me to get slot 3 on every single one of them. All together, combined. Which is, in all honesty, probably above average. Significantly above average compared to many other people, because I know some people who tried and sold basically their goddamn soul to get slot 3 on some of these things. And I feel sorry for one. But two, it's RNG based and it is what it is, tough shit. That's what I have to say for you. But yeah, and even if I go to the equipments that I've posted on my community tab, it would actually look a lot worse than the ones I have written here. Now, the one that I didn't record, because for one it was out of laziness, and two because if I had a look at the numbers it would have been travesty, was the Evo Ken. Was Evo Ken's equipment. I do not want to tell you how many it took me to even get anything on that. The third slot might have been okay, but the second slot was so bad I almost gave up and just left it, because I did not give a single flying shit on it. But more than likely the third slot did not actually give me any results until after, if I had to take a guess, maybe 150 to 200 slots it took me to even get anything from the third slot. So yeah, there has been equipment, but from the way that I have presented, other than maybe the Ginyu Force equipment, if I combined it all into one equipment, it has been very good. I have been fairly lucky, which I am thankful for. It's just the second slot has just been killing me. The second slot is the one that really needs work, i.e. give less of a disparity. That's the only way to fix that. So yeah, that's been this video. Hope you enjoyed my rant or discussion on my third slot adventures, I guess. Let me know on some equipments how many slots you said you have spent on a certain equipment. It could be 1, it could be 5 of them that you somehow remember, unless you're like me that keeps track of them because you have no life in you. But do let me know, because I'll be very interested, and I will either feel sorry and just give you praise. If I think it's great, I'll give you a thumbs up. If I think it's bad, it's just like, I'll just give you the teeth grin. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. She sees you all next time.